What are the expectations for getting a new puppy when you go home? This is an awesome question and I get it very often. And so I thought I'd make a video to make it really easy for you guys to find. So first of all, you are getting an adorable little puppy, but not a stuffed animal. I just want to make sure that is clear. This little doll has been with us for 8 weeks. And if even tinier than 10 weeks. And we have done all that we can to set up your puppy for success in a lot of different areas, which I'm going to talk about. But I just wanted to make sure you understood that this is just the beginning of the journey. It's like you are taking it on and carrying it forth. And this is just the beginning. It's not the end. So just want to make sure that was clear. I wanted you to make sure that you knew that the temperament test that we do is awesome. It is a good snapshot of who your puppy is right now and who it could be in the future. But it is no way a guarantee, right? So this is a gift, an extra service. It takes extra time and effort that I'm giving to you guys. But please understand that these are living creatures, right? It's not set in stone. They can change. They are affected by your environment just as much as we are by our environment. So I just want that clear. So it's pretty awesome, the power that you have on your puppy, especially the next 8 weeks you have with them, that first 16 weeks of their life. You guys have a huge influence. So, oh, Boomer's rocking my camera. Boomer, quit it. I'm gonna get seasick. Okay, and I just wanted to clarify that I am no way a trainer. Most of us breeders are not trainers. We are breeders. We do fabulous work for your puppies for the first 8 weeks of their lives. We've studied up, at least I can speak for myself, I've studied up and have put forth a lot of effort to do the best I can for your puppy going forward. But that being said, I will share, because obviously us breeders are also all puppy owners, probably many puppies in our lifetime. So we've been through it, and so we will share our experience with you, but we are not trained trainers. So take it with a grain of salt and always feel free to reach out to trainers. My favorite online program is Baxter and Bella. And then my favorite dog trainer that I've ever worked with is Jan Perkins at Live Oak Dog Obedience. And she does online Zoom sessions as well. So if you're getting a rut, check with her. So I'm just sharing with you what I know and how best to help you going forward. Okay, that being said, first of all, okay, you get a puppy, you're so excited, you go home with your puppy, what happens next? So you are gonna wanna make sure that your home is a nice, calm place, and you want the puppy to feel the freedom to approach things at their pace, right? You never wanna force a puppy, just like here with our puppies, when we do exposure activities, we never force them into an activity. We always will put them there with the activity, and then we encourage them to do it, but it's all done on their timeline. That's really, really important, because if the puppy is going to trust you, you can't force things. You got to let it happen. Does that make sense? So forcing them to meet your new pet right away, probably not a good idea. Let both of them meet at the appropriate time, like when they want to. And that's one of the things on my list I want to talk about is introducing your pet to an existing pet. So you get home, first thing you do with your puppy when you get home, take it out to your safe potty area. Usually it's the backyard. Give them a chance to go potty, and then bring it in, and then you can introduce the puppy to their new little penned off area. And you're going to want to start introducing your house in little increments, because puppies don't want to soil where they live. They don't want to soil where they sleep. And that's going to help with our crate training, and they don't want to soil where they live. But if you introduce this whole big house to them all at once, or apartment, it's too much, and the puppy won't associate the whole apartment as being their house. Boomer, stop. and then you're going to have accidents, and they'll eventually get it, but it takes a lot longer. So small increments. Okay. Let's see. Let's jump right into potty training. So what do you do for potty training? There are so many great ideas out there and things that work. This is what I follow, and it has worked every single time without fail. You are going to take your puppy out to go potty anytime the puppy changes their activity. So that means the puppy eats, you give it a chance to go potty. The puppy is playing and then is done, you take it out to go potty. The puppy sleeps and wakes up, without fail, that puppy will at least go pee. So take it outside to go potty. Okay. And not every time is it going to go stinks. Sometimes we call them stinks and wets at our house. So not all the time will the puppy go stinks. Most of the time it will go wets though. And just give it a chance. Sometimes you're sticking around there for you're like, it's been 15 minutes, Typically puppies will go right away if they need to go. And then if not, then you take them back inside and you watch them like a hawk because they're gonna go soon. Just know that. Okay, and then the rule of 3. This is if you follow this, it'll work great. The puppy is either in his crate, and his crate needs to be sectioned off so that he only has room to lay down and turn around. And that's it. You don't want enough room in your crate so that he can have an accident and then go lay next to it. It'll take a lot longer to potty train your puppy. So get a crate with a divider, and then as the puppy grows, you scoot the divider back, and then eventually you won't even need it because it'll be potty trained. So the puppy is either in the crate, if you can't watch him, or the puppy is outside going potty or playing because he has free reign to go potty there, right? Or else the puppy is where you can see him and you're watching like a hawk. So like Zach George says, to tie a leash around the hip and just keep him near you. I've never gone that far. I just can't. But it's great advice, though, so that you're always like watching that puppy, because your puppy is gonna have accidents. I know, newsflash. It's gonna happen, you guys. It's a baby, right? We're trying to toilet train a puppy. Like, they're not used to this. This isn't what they're made for, but they're smart and they can do it. And don't give up. So you're gonna wanna make sure puppy is either in the crate or the puppy is outside, or else you're watching it like a hawk. Now, it will show you signs of when he needs to go potty. He's going to start sniffing on the ground, and you'll kind of see they'll lower their rear end to squat to go potty. You're going to grab that puppy right away when you see it and say, "Oh no," and rush it outside. Or hopefully you catch it before they show the sign, before that happens, right? And you rush it outside and you say, "Potty," and they go there. If you miss an accident, so say you weren't paying attention, puppy has an accident in the corner, you cannot go back and punish your puppy for that. They will not get it, and it's detrimental, and it's detrimental to your relationship. So that's a boo-boo on you, and you just clean it up, and you don't say anything to your pup because they won't get it, right? So you're gonna catch your puppy in accidents. That's when you, pick it up, run it outside, say potty. And then when they do go potty outside, Zach George says this too. I love this. He's like, it opens up a whole new world of the fun you when they go potty. So at first, potty, you're just waiting around. You're not being interesting. You just try to ignore the puppy. When they go, suddenly it's like, "Oh, you're the best puppy. Good job, good puppy. Yes. You can give them a treat at that point if you want." And I really try to avoid treats in my training because we're not going to have them with us at all times, right? So I really try to use our relationship with training. But you're going to reward that puppy with lots of good feelings, pets, loves, tug of war. Boomer, you're going to make us seasick. So it's on a rocking chair because that's the good angle here. The camera is. Okay, so that's how I handle potty training. Okay, now let's talk about crate training in the night. That's another one. One of the biggest hangups, that's hard with puppies. There's lots, but crate training through the night. Nobody likes their sleep messed with. So we introduce our puppies to crates early on in their life, typically around like 5 weeks old, sometimes a little bit earlier. And we just have the door open and they can go in and out as they want. When they fall asleep in the crate, I'll close the door and then sometimes, and then I'll open it and let them come out. So they learn that the crate is just like part of my life. It's not a scary thing. Puppies don't like to be away from you, especially crated away from you. I mean, think about you. Do you want to be in a cage away from people you love? No, but it's important to have that because there are going to be times that you can't always watch your puppy. So you need to have a safe place for him. And the crate is awesome. And the crate will accelerate your potty training. So I'm a pro believer in the crate, especially for nighttime training. That's awesome. So you're going to have the puppy go potty at night, and I take away all food and water 2 hours before bedtime. And yes, your puppy will be just fine, even the tiny little ones. You're going to take away food and water 2 hours before bedtime, put him in the, give him loves. Okay, good night, no big deal. Put him in the crate. And you can expect some whining. Probably some puppies do great and they're like magic and they don't whine. But some puppies, it's like 5 minutes of whining or howling, not howling, but like screaming, and then they settle down. And then you'll get some that are dang stubborn for a while and will just like, please let me out, Mom. Why cry for a long time? And that's just, you got to have some tough love, you guys. Like you just have to. You gave him a chance to go potty. If it goes on for a while, you can take him out again and give him a chance to go potty, but you're not fun. If he goes potty, then yes, great, good job, potty. Then you put him directly back in. So they learn, okay, when I cry, I'm just getting out to go potty, but then I'm going to go right back in. And you have to be more stubborn than your puppy. And it is dang hard sometimes. But you can do this. And some puppies are magical. Like most of our puppies, we get reports back where they're like, they slept 8 hours through the night, like toy breeds. And I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous because I never had that. And I take that back. Misty at Utah Camp, she was fabulous. Good job, Angela. But I never had that until like this last year with Boomer, that they actually like sleep through the night, really fabulous. But a lot of our puppies are doing that now. So anyway, let's go back. So you put the puppy in, they whine, you leave them in the crate, you don't take them out unless it's chance to go potty. You have some tough love. Eventually they will learn. And I start by sleeping the crate right next to the bed. So because they just left their mom and their siblings and they're scared. I mean, if I left everyone that I knew in a whole new environment, I'd probably cry too, right? So have a little love and understanding and expect sleepless nights. Just expect it. And then if it doesn't happen, it's a wonderful gift and a miracle. And often it is like, that is what happens. It's a wonderful night, but I just want you to set your expectations realistically. And then you leave the puppy alone and do not set an alarm. I get this question all the time. Do not set an alarm to take your puppy potty. Your puppy is your alarm. So when you're sleeping through the night, if that puppy has to go potty and wakes up and starts whining, and trust me, it will wake you up. That's when you take out the puppy and then you take it outside. You wait for it to go potty. You're not fun. You're not interesting. As soon as it goes potty, yay, potty. Not a huge celebration there. And then directly back in the crate. So he learns, okay, even if I wake up at night, 1, you're going to let me out to go potty, so I'm going to trust you. And then 2, oh, I love that. Nala slept in her crate all through the night since day 2. Love that. Okay, that's one of my puppies. And then 2, 1, to trust you. And then, I'm sorry, went on a tangent. And then 2, they're going to learn, oh, if I wake up at night, it's not playtime, right? You that are nursing mamas, you know this. When you wake up to nurse your babies, you're not talking to them. You're not being fun, because otherwise that baby's waking up all the time to play with mama. So be wise when you do that. Okay, and then that can go on. Typically, like if you have some rough nights, usually those are resolved by like day 3. If you have that, sometimes if you get a really stubborn pup, that can take longer. But most of the time, I would say like 99% of my pups do fabulous, even from day 1. So hang on there. But if you get a tricky one, I mean, I'm a text away, right? So I got your back, and we also have trainers if you need extra help too. Okay, but then eventually, within like a week or so, those waking up through the nights potty experiences should go away. And eventually you'll be able to, because I also get people that are like, well, my puppy goes great from like 10 to 6 or 11 to 7. But then that puppy's up and wired. And that is hard. It will eventually learn to sleep in with you. When that happens, do it just like you're in the middle of the night. You take the puppy out, you don't make a big deal, go potty and put him back. And you're going to have to deal with probably in the morning some more whining and protesting. So he's like, I'm awake, I want to play with you. And you're like, sorry, it's not wake up time yet. Mom and daddy are sleeping, so be quiet in your crate. Some tough love there. Okay, let's see. Crate training, tantrums. Oh, and this is really important. It's hard. I know a lot of you guys get your puppies and it's kind of the end of the day and you just have to jump right into crate training. My heart feels for you because that's rough. Hang in there. Ideally, you get your puppy earlier in the day and you can work on that crate training in your home during the day. So when puppy falls asleep, you want to go ahead and move that puppy to the crate and then close the door. So when it's asleep during the day, and then you're practicing, you're showing the puppy, okay, and then when it wakes up and lets you know it's time to come out, then you open the door and take it directly out to go potty, and it learns like, oh, I'm not trapped in here forever, right? Like this is a safe place, but you're going to practice some crate training throughout the day. And then even when it's not asleep, sometimes you're going to close the puppy, wear it out really good, and then give your puppy a toy or something like that to keep him interested, a chew toy, and then close the door for a while. And you're going to get protesting again, because nobody likes to be jailed, but it's important skill to learn. And they need to learn it realistically, because we can't be on our puppies watching them all the time. That being said, I hope your puppy's not living in a crate, right? You got the puppy to be a loving part of your family, not to be a bird cage on the shelf. So let me say that. Okay. And then they really will catch on, you guys. You will just stay consistent and they will be potty trained. Some puppies, it's like you're done by like 4 months. Some you're done by like 2 or 3 weeks, and it's amazing. And, but that being said, they are going to regress. So hang in there. And it can happen. It's different life stages. Typically I see it around 6 to 8 months. So here I am with Boomer. They're going to push their boundaries again. So you might get some more accidents. When that happens, you go back to what you did when you first got the puppy. You go to the rule of 3. They're either outside in their crate or you're watching them like a hawk. You do that until they're solid again. And you might have a couple times of that until they're a year. Once they're a year old, they are pretty solid and they are trustworthy. That being said, if they go, I keep saying that being said, but if they go to someone else's house, they may try to test their boundaries there too. So just be aware of that. Have on hand a really great carpet cleaner or floor spray. The one I love is Nature's Miracle. It's on my website, Nature's Miracle Stain and Odor Remover. That works really well. And it has to have an enzymatic, I'm sure I said that wrong, enzymatic cleaner, so that not only does it take the smell and everything away from us, but also the dogs too, because they have a lot more sensitive nose. Okay, so we talked about crate training, tantrums. Okay, they're gonna, when you put your little puppy in your pen, when you can't watch them, not just a crate, but like a little pinned off area is something I recommend. Then just know that they're going to throw a tantrum just like a kid. They're like, Mom, I want to play with you. And you're like, sorry, you can't. You get to play by yourself for a while with toys. When they start throwing a tantrum, just ignore them. Like when they're doing behavior you don't want, you just ignore them. And eventually they'll learn like, oh, that bad behavior. And this is like true with parenthood too. Like bad behavior does not get me what I want, right? And puppies are the same way, and they're so intelligent and they will learn. So don't let the puppy bully you into getting what they want. And it's truly, training a puppy is really, I would say like 80% actually training the new family, the human. Like you have to learn even more than the puppy, I feel like. So be strong. You can do this. Okay. And then also when you're letting them out of the crate, they're going to be whining like, please let me out. Try as much as you can to not open the crate until they're quiet. And you can start it for like 1 or 2 seconds if that need be, you know, when they really have to go potty or something. 1 or 2 seconds, try to get them calm. And then yes, open the door. And then eventually they will learn. So you can go longer so that they learn like, if I freak out my kennel, it's not, I have to be calm to be let out. And also when they're freaking out in their playpen or they want you, you don't give them attention. But then when you do go over to pick them up, you don't want to teach a dog that it's okay to be jumping and scratching on you because it's cute when they're a little puppy. But trust me, when they get older and they're like, you come home from church and they're ripping your nylons, it's not so fun. So don't reward that behavior. Wait for them to be sitting and looking up at you. That is called manding, and that is something that we train our puppies. I say train because we don't really train our puppies to 8 weeks. We lay a good foundation, but that is kind of a training thing that we do introduce to them early on, and they know it, and they know the expected behavior. So continue that. Before you pick that adorable little puppy up, wait for them to sit and look up at you, and you just wait, and you look at them and they will get it. They'll catch on. And we actually practice manding too. I do it with my puppies, Boomer and everything. When you're like tossing a toy or playing with them, you can wait for them to be sitting and looking up at you and then toss, and they'll learn. It's really good because they're learning self-control, and they're also learning that they need to communicate with you as well in an appropriate way. And it's awesome because it gives them a voice without them whining and being little terrors. So you'll love that. Okay, let's see. Potty, mandling, handling, crying. We talked about that. Oh, another thing we get questions about a lot is puppy biting. Your puppies are coming to you with needle sharp teeth, and it hurts, dang it, when they bite you. Luckily, we make sure that they stay with mama the full 8 weeks so that they, maybe it's like 1 or 2 days shy sometimes, but they are there long enough with their litter mates and mama to learn that bite inhibition. And what that is they learn to bite softer, right, when they play. So hopefully they're not like going crazy on you, but they're still going to bite because they're like babies. They explore with their mouths. So just expect that. That can last like all the way up to a year. Like you've seen those memes, I hope you have, that are like, my puppy, when it comes to me, it's all sweet. And then it's like Velociraptor for the next year. And then it's back to it. And then it's like a full grown puppy. It's the reality, you guys. But I learned, so what do? You can redirect to a toy. You can say, give them a toy. You can go, ow, that it hurts. And different things work with different puppies. That's why there is no like set, here's what you work with. In this area, especially, different things work with different puppies. You can do what's called the alpha roll, what mama dog does. So mama dog, when puppies are playing too rough, or she just wants to be like, I'm the boss, you're the puppy. She'll take the puppy and gently roll it on its back, right? And kind of grab on the scruff of the neck right here, or just like bite. And then groom the puppy and then just walk away. She doesn't even apologize. And that puppy's like, okay. And usually it'll go back and play with mama, or else it'll go on its way. You can try that as well. And then I just got introduced by Barbie at Sugar Lane Doodles. And there's like a little fluffy. She taught me what she calls the Butterfinger trick. And I think this is genius. So I'm going to try it with my puppies going forward. She just puts a little pea-sized amount of butter on her fingers. And she does this for a day. And every couple of hours, she'll let the puppy lick off the butter off her fingers. And as they do that, she says, gentle, gentle. And then the puppy learns to associate licking with the word gentle, so that when your puppy starts biting you, you can say gentle, gentle. And then they're going to start licking instead of biting. Not that we necessarily want to create lickers, but if you're in a pinch and that puppy just will not stop, you can do that. You can also, if a puppy just is not getting it, you can try to clap your hands. Hey, you know, like you're the boss. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. That puppy will love you. What is not okay is ever hitting your puppy, right? Taking out your anger on your puppy. If you need a timeout, go take a timeout, just like with babies and kids, right? If you need to put that puppy in a timeout, go put that puppy in their pen. We really try hard to not use the crate as the punisher, right? That crate needs to be a positive place, because otherwise it's going to be a heck of a time teaching them crate training, because they're like, oh, that's my punishment box. No, it's not a punishment box. You can put it in the playpen if you need to, but don't do the crate. But do take a time out if you need to. But yeah, those are some tricks for puppy biting, and I hope that helps. And of course, always ask your trainer if you need more ideas. Reach out to Baxter and Bella or their local trainer near you, or Jan, like I suggested. Intro to existing pup. Okay, so we kind of touched on this. Basically, don't push anything. So you get the puppy home, you let the existing dog approach the puppy as he or she wants. You're not going to force anything. And you can reward them whenever that puppy's in the room. You can reward your dog. Oh, look, you're such a good dog. Do you like your new friend? You can give them a treat. You know, do you like your new friend? And they'll start to associate like, oh, good feelings with the puppy being around. That's another thing you can try. And it just takes patience, you guys. Typically, especially if you already have an existing adult dogs, funny enough, do not like puppies. They're like, oh, you're too much for me. Like, quit trying to bite on my ear and play with me. They're like, I'm old. You know, even I'm talking old, like as in like over 2 years, you know, essentially, or like 3 years. So just be patient, because at first, the adult dog, typically this is how it goes. Sometimes you get really fabulous dogs that are like, thank you for this puppy, you know, and they just love them right away. And you're lucky if you get that. But just expect your first dog initially is gonna be like, I hate this newbie. Like, can we take him back? You know, they're going to hate the puppy at first. Then they're going to eventually accept the puppy. Like, okay, I guess we have to put up with it. And then eventually they're going to be sleeping next to each other and loving each other, in my experience. So, but it can take time. It can be as quick as like in a day, or it can be like several weeks. And I have lots of past puppy owners that can attest to that too. But just stay patient and hang in there. And that goes for like introducing your dog to a cat as well, your puppy to a cat. Typically, if you're introducing puppies to cats, they do pretty good, because they're puppies. If you're trying to introduce an already established dog to a cat, that's really hard. And that's a different story. Reach out to a trainer for that. But puppies, try to introduce your cat to the puppy when your puppy is sleeping, when it's not going to be trying to go crazy on the cat, and that puppy's sleeping, and then let the cat approach at its own pace. And I have cute pictures of past puppies where they're like cuddling and playing with cats. It's so fun. And it kind of does depend on the breed though. If you have a cat, I highly recommend getting a dog that is lower prey drive, because cats are really fun. Obviously, anything that moves is fun to chase, and cats don't really like being chased. So be aware of that when you're selecting your puppy with our temperament test. Choose one that's a low prey drive, and that'll help set you up for success with your puppy. Okay, I think that is what I wanted to touch on. I'm sure there's so much more to expect or to talk about. Baths. Bathe your puppy just when needed. I wouldn't do it anymore. I mean, like, if it gets dirty, then bathe it, obviously. But I try to do it every 2 weeks. But you can go longer if you need to. Just be aware. Keep the potty pad. Try to keep the nails and pads and booty areas cleaned. The private areas trimmed up and clean really good. And then by the eyes, oh heavens, please people, clean your puppy's little eyes right here by their tear ducts, because you'll see, like, if you don't, then they start getting the tear stains even worse. I mean, some dogs are just prone to tear stains, but you're going to get it way worse, the gut and tear stains, and then those poor dogs can't see. And if you are having behavior problems, sometimes it's because those poor dogs can't see, so they're just more fearful, right? So just keep them cleaned up right there. I posted a video on how to do that. I mean, it's pretty ghetto, but it's there if you need some help. But I'm sure there's a lot of YouTube videos to help you with that. So keep your potty trimmed, your puppy trimmed, I mean. And then the other thing is introduce your puppy. So as it starts to be potty trained, being consistent in holding its potty for outside so it can get the reward, then you can start opening up its world to be bigger, right? And you're welcome to take your puppy with you kind of in the house as long as you're watching it like a hawk. But if you're not, that puppy's at its pen, and then you slowly extend its pen area to be bigger throughout, the next several weeks until eventually it has roam of the full house without you having to watch it like a hawk. And that day will come, and it's glorious and it's wonderful. But just be aware, you are getting this adorable little pooping, biting, peeing machine that will love you to the ends of the earth. And as you guys train this little puppy, it's going to love you like so much, tenfold. And you guys are going to form the bond as you train your puppy yourself. Trust me, it's so much better than shipping your puppy off for like 2 to 4 months. I mean, if you have to, you have to, but ideally try to do it yourself, form that bond yourself, because when you go through struggles together like this and learning together, you guys will have a bond like nothing else. And it's so rewarding when they get it. You're just so proud of your puppy. There's so much more that we could be discussing about your puppy. Obviously, the other thing I have to mention, do not let your puppy's paws touch anywhere besides your house or your backyard or your friend's house where you know where that dog's been. If they have another dog, and it's a really safe environment, because parvo can happen. Luckily, it's not really rampant here in South Jordan where I live, but wherever my puppies go, I just don't know. So until the puppy shots are done, which is typically around 16 weeks old, it is 16 weeks old, they need their booster shots. And typically they get one at close to 8 weeks with us, and then they'll get them again around like 11 and a half weeks, and then like 15 weeks. And then that's usually the last of their shots. And when they go in at 15, 16 weeks, they will get their rabies shots as well. Then your puppy, ask your vet to be like, hey, do I need to wait a couple days or a week? Every vet is different and it's kind of funny, but do what they suggest. And then once they're done, then your puppy can go put his paws on the floor, and you can go take him into Petco, and you can start with the leash training. And you open up a whole new can of worms with leash training. But there's so much you can do with your dog. That first night you get your puppy, like I said, just like play with them, build a bond, set boundaries. I actually like to start teaching my puppy fetch, like go get it, bring it back, or sit, like simple things. And I do not use treats because it'll upset their stomach, especially really young. I just use their own kibble. And it's funny because the kibble in the bowl is just like, meh, it's boring, right? But when it's from your hand, it's like gold, and they'll do anything for it. It's so cute. So if you need to do it with a treat, don't do a treat, just use kibble if you need to. But otherwise, best case is just do it with your own relationship and lure with your face and hands and things like that. So I hope I covered everything. I'm sure there's so much more, but that's what to expect with your puppy. That way you know kind of what we've been working on, like the manding. Oh yeah, we've been introducing them to potty training by having them go in a specific area. We start with potty wash or disposable pee pads, then we go to a grate, and then of course eventually we're trying to take them outside any chance we can when they wake up, so that they've already gotten in that habit. But when you get home, if you can help it, don't do potty pads anymore. Potty pads are for when you're trying to handle a whole litter of puppies. It's dang hard to stay on top of puppies, and they're just so young. So we have to do potty pads are great. But when you just have that one puppy one-on-one, get rid of those puppy pads if you can, and just go straight to outside. And that's the expectation. They hold it, they go outside, and it'll go so mumuch better and so much faster. So that's what we do there. We talked about manning, puppy biting. We always are redirecting. We'll do timeouts when they get a little like too excited with their siblings. We'll just hold them by our side really nonchalantly until their heart rate slows down. Then we'll put them back into play. We do the same thing. If they're throwing tantrums, we don't give them attention. We wait till they're sitting and looking up at us. Potty training, manning, handling crying, puppy biting, same thing. We ignore them when they're crying. Puppy biting, we redirect. And we introduce them to our dog here, Boomer, and sometimes we'll pull in another safe dog if I don't have a dog here, which I always will now. We'll introduce them to other dogs, and I introduce them to so many other people, and so that they are really socialized by the time they go to you. So I hope you enjoy your new dog.